Good evening and welcome to the 2015 Jefferson-Jackson Dinner for the Democratic Party of Guam. At the outset, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to Congresswoman Madeline Bardallo and the Jefferson-Jackson Committee for all their hard work in organizing tonight's festivities. I also wish to extend a special Sidus Maasi to Senator Mazie Hirono for honoring us all by consenting to be our keynote speaker tonight. Throughout her career as a public servant, Senator Hirono has been a good friend of Guam and a great champion of the democratic values of justice, opportunity, and compassion for all Americans. Thank you, Senator Hirono, for being here tonight and for all you have done for Guam and our nation. I wish I was with you to share in tonight's festivities, but my duties as your state chairman have made it necessary for me to attend the summer meeting of the Democratic National Committee in Minneapolis. As state chairman, I automatically serve as a member of the Democratic National Committee. Unfortunately, between my duties as a senator, as well as the demands of Democratic Party business on Guam, I have not been able to attend any of the DNC meetings of the last 2 years. Recently, I was informed by DNC officials that unless I was present at this meeting, Guam would lose this seat on the Democratic National Committee for reasons of non-attendance. And so along with our National Committee woman, Taling Taitano, I will be representing Guam at the summer meeting, which has a full agenda, including hearing all the Democratic candidates for president, including former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. I did, though, want to take this opportunity of the JJ dinner to impart to you some of my thoughts about all we have gone through and all we have achieved as Democrats to reach this point in our history. 2 years ago, at the time of our last election for Democratic officers and CEC members, our party was at a major crossroads. With the passing of our acting party chair, the late Gloria Nelson, there was a vacuum of leadership in the Democratic Party. There were few people willing to serve as party officers. The finances were burdened with debt. We were facing a tough opposition in the 2014 election, and truth be told, the party was far from being united. Speaker Wampat had taken the initiative to recruit candidates for the party election. She talked to several prospects for state chairman and eventually approached me about it. I have to admit that I had to think long and hard about the speaker's suggestion that I run for state chairman. It was kind of like being asked to run into a burning building to put a fire out. But as daunting as the challenges were before us as Democrats, I firmly believed they could be overcome. If we as Democrats were able to rise above the divisions of the past and rally around democratic ideals of fairness for working people, compassion for the needy, and solidarity with the grassroots, then I believe we had a fighting chance to rebuild our party and be competitive in the 2014 elections. But to do all of this, I knew I would need a partner who cared about the Democratic Party as much as I did, a partner who shared my commitment to democratic ideals, a partner whose very participation would inspire a sense of unity among Democrats throughout our island. And so I approached Dr. Narissa Underwood and asked her to run with me as vice chair of the Democratic Party. Took some persuasion, but she agreed to join me in taking on the challenge of rebuilding our party. I still say that the very day that Narissa said yes was an important turning point in the fortunes of our party because of the sense of unity it communicated to everyone. Within days of our press conference announcing our candidacy, there was a new level of excitement among Democrats. We had a record turnout for the party elections, and with barely a week's notice, we put together an inaugural ball for incoming officers. It was held here in the Hyatt, and it brought together hundreds of Democrats from every faction and segment of our party to rally for a cause greater than ourselves, the Democratic Party of Guam. But even with this new sense of unity, many in our community had doubts about the future of the Democratic Party on Guam. Throughout most of 2014, we did not have a declared candidate for ADLUB, and as state chairman, I was asked repeatedly about the absence of a Democratic gubernatorial campaign. There was rampant speculation that we would not be able to mount a challenge to the Republican regime in ADLUB or even maintain our majority in the legislature. critics scoffed at our honesty in recognizing the challenges before us and the listening tour meetings we conducted in the villages to give the grassroots a chance to participate in the work of rebuilding our party. The detractors mocked the openness of the actions we took to unite all factions and recruit candidates for governor, lieutenant governor, and the legislature. Despite all this, we persevered, and after working with the grassroots and bringing together the leaders in our party, we recruited a strong slate of candidates. Governor Carl Gutierrez and Attorney Gary Gumatautau answered the call of their party and agreed to be our standard bearers for governor and lieutenant governor. And even with the tragic passing of Speaker Ben Penglinen, we fielded a strong slate of 15 candidates for the legislature. And of course, we rallied around our nominee for another term in the House of Representatives, Congresswoman Malin Zebradalio. The results of the 2014 election may not have been all we may have wished, but it was an endeavor we can take pride in. Despite being outspent 10-1, the Gutierrez-Gumatautau team put together a remarkable grassroots effort. If they had not stepped forward to take the fight to the opposite party, all the resources that poured into the gubernatorial election might have been used against our candidates for the legislature and Congress. And although Governor Gutierrez and Attorney Gumatautau were not successful in their races, the strength of their candidacies helped to bring about Democratic success in retaining our majority in the legislature and re-electing our Congresswoman. For that valiant effort, they deserve our deepest respect and gratitude. Our experiences over the last 2 years can be summed up in many ways. It can be said that we brought our party back from the brink and ensured its survival, that we rebuilt and strengthened the Democratic Party, that we laid the foundation for future success, including taking AdLoop in 2018. But I think we did more than that. United as Democrats, we made history these last 2 years, but more needs to be done in 2016. We have new elections for the legislature, the mayors, Congress, and our Democratic primary to send delegates to the Democratic National Convention that I believe will choose the next president for our nation. Let's move forward together, united, and let us continue to make history for the Democratic Party and for all the people of Guam. Biba Democrats, thank you, and si Diyos maasi.